All right, today we're going to talk about different relationships that these angles have. They kind of all have like their special names. So you guys need to know these because we are going to be referring to these terms later on in the year. All right, so the first one is going to be adjacent. Okay, adjacent angles, we're going to say they share a vertex and a side. All right, so they're sharing a vertex and a side. Now the picture, the picture is kind of like this. They're sharing, like 1 and 2 share vertex B, and they share, ray BC. So that's going to be adjacent angles. All right, now the one thing that's kind of just picky on this part is they cannot overlap. So for instance, you can't have angle 2, and then if we use this whole angle as 3, angle 2 and angle 3 do share B, and they do share ray BD, but they're not adjacent. They have to be next to each other. And I'll give you more examples in class. A linear pair. A linear pair is kind of basically 2 adjacent angles. So they are adjacent angles. That create a straight line. Okay, so we have our straight line. All right, then we can say angles 1 and 2. They're adjacent. They do share a vertex and a side. But now angle 1 and 2, they create this whole straight line. So that's going to be a linear pair. All right, vertical angles are non-adjacent. So they are not adjacent, and they are created from 2 lines. All right, so we have. All right, so the vertical lines are vertical angles are created from 2 lines. Okay, notice how this gives me 4 angles here. All right, and they're non-adjacent. So we could say 1 and 3 are vertical. So 1 and 3 are vertical, and then we can have 2 and 4 are vertical. Okay? Vertical angles, these are going to be congruent, and we'll talk about that later. We can do the proof in class. But here the 1 and 3 have the same measure. So these two have the same measure. One's 40 degrees, the other one's 40 degrees. All right, so as we look in here, I'm just going to kind of list all the angle pairs. We have angle adjacent, we have angle 1, and angle 2 are adjacent. All right, and then we have angle 2 and angle 3 are adjacent. Then we have angle 3 and 4 are adjacent. All right, they're next to each other. They share a rate. A linear pair, all right, we're just going to do angle 1 and angle 2 are a linear pair. They create a line. And it's kind of the same thing, angle 2 and angle 3, 3 and 4 and 1 if you guys want to do some more. Vertical angles would be angle 1 and angle 3, okay, 1 and 3. Then we have 2 and 4. So angle 2 and angle 4 are vertical as well. The other ones that we have are complementary and supplementary. You guys have learned these before. So complementary angles, they add up to 90 degrees. Okay, the big thing that we need to make, they are not 45 degrees. Okay, you guys need to make sure that they're not always going to be 45 degrees. Don't just assume that. All right, the one way I like to remember is if I draw one line on the first letter, it gives me that 90. So that's 90 is right there. Same thing for supplementary. If I draw one line on the first letter, this gives me 180 to help me remember the difference between the two. So supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay? So in the first example, angle 1 and angle 2 add up to 90, therefore they are complementary. Now at the bottom we have 5 and 6 are supplementary, okay, but I actually created angle 4, which is the same as angle 5, okay, but so we have angle 5 plus angle 6 equals 180, and then we have angle 4 plus angle 6 equals 180. Now the difference here, okay, is that supplementary does not mean that they have to be next to each other. Supplementary, they can be anywhere in space. 5 and 6 are a linear pair, and that means that they're going to be supplementary. But 4 and 6 are also a linear pair. I mean, 4 and 6 are not a linear pair, but they are supplementary.